Oh my god, I hate my brain so much for this. If you're wondering why I'm all dressed up, I'm actually hoping to go and do some photos in my yard for my author website, and also to update my profile picture on here and also on my social media. So that's why for that. But the reason I'm making this video is, oh my god. I came up with another story idea last night. This is Kat the Crow-Winged Author here at the Magic Library, and here I'm going to basically roll you through my entire chaos brain and why I believe that my brain should be locked up for its chaotic nature. Was probably the most chaotic intro I've ever done in my life, but at the same time, look at how I'm dressed. If I'm dressed up. I just got back from basically applying for a job. I don't know why I dressed up like this. I thought they were immediately going to just give me a job interview. I was wrong. That basically shows how my morning goes from whenever I wake up, decide to go and get dressed and go at the job interviews. But the theme of this video is basically chaos, and what better way to talk about chaos than to talk about my unmedicated ADHD brain. My dad's told me never to tell people that I have undiagnosed ADHD or unmedicated ADHD, and it's like, how can I not? As a writer and as a creative person, I'm prone to have mental issues. I mean, like, look throughout history. Even look at some of the mathematician side. Some of the mathematicians that we know today are particularly famous because they were on the spectrum of some sort. Whether they had autism, whether they had, I forget some of the other ones that they had. I just know that their brain worked in such a way that it allowed them to hyper-focus on certain details. And that's basically what my brain does, but it does it with creative ideas such as storytelling and artwork. Which on the plus side is a good thing, because that means I will never be one to want for creative content. On the other side, it fills my brain with absolute useless knowledge that I will probably only ever use one time. Do you not know how frustrating this is for me? I will give you a perfect example. When I was first working on Arborea Lux, I already knew what I was going to do after Arborea Lux. I knew I was going to work on the Seraphim trilogy. I was going to work on the prequel called Morningstar. And then shortly after that, I came up with the idea to do the companion novel for Arborea Lux called Anime Nexum. Yeah, well, in between those ideas, I had one little bitty issue. My brain was coming up with more and 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 more story ideas. You probably know of some of them because I've talked about them on here before. Dreams of Woven Ink is a good example. The Mortality Companion is another one. And stuff like that. Some of these stories, and one story in particular, The Ghost of Birchwood Hollow, is actually sort of a rewrite from a story that I wrote when I was in high school. But yeah, let's just say that my plate be full and my plate be overflowing at this point. Especially because I started writing on this story idea last night because I could not get it out of my head. And I actually am thinking about working on it here in between breaks of doing the rewrites and revisions for Seraphim Awakening. Just as a little, project of mine. Now, some of you may be wondering, Kat, why are you making this video? Are you trying to brag? I'm not bragging. I am not the kind to particularly brag, which I guess is sort of hypocritical in a way because I'm bragging about not bragging, but I'm not about to go down the rabbit hole for that. The point is that as a creator, whether you are prone to depression or anxiety, or you are on the spectrum, or you are ADHD and you're not medicated for it like me, then your brain works in such a way that you can come up with creative ideas. It's just focusing on that one idea and not being distracted by side projects is the issue. I guess this is more of a PSA than anything else, huh? But aside from all that, I guess this is sort of a thing of just to add on to the numerous other ideas that I have already on my plate. I have another one that is probably going to be very, very interesting for you guys. And it's very odd how I came up with the idea. I was talking to a role player friend whom I often come up with, whom I often brainstorm ideas with. And this particular idea that we're doing is sort of a mix of all of my favorite characters from Black Butler. You have Sebastian Michaelis and his demon aesthetic. You have Claude's obsession that borders on the yandere personality spectrum. You have Undertaker and his sort of whimsy charisma, I guess. I don't know if that's how you would technically classify him in Book of the Atlantic, but oh well. Joker's tendency to do horrendous acts for those he loves. Snake's fierce loyalty, and that's basically all of my favorite characters in Black Butler. But take all of those and basically you have a cosmic entity that has absolutely no idea how the human world works, doesn't understand the limits that we as humans put on ourselves, and that's basically it. And sort of like Dreams of Woven Ink, this story revolves around a writer who meets this cosmic being in her dreams and gives him a name. And that name sort of binds them together. You see where I'm sort of getting the idea from Black Butler here. It's just, except in this case, it doesn't have anything to do with revenge or offering up a soul. It's basically one character that she's come up with has come to life and has devoted himself to her, and then it starts happening with other characters that she creates. It of course is going to be dark fantasy, but it is also going to be very, very fantastical because of just like, it's just this one instance has basically caused like a lot of her story ideas to come to life, and she's basically rewriting the world in a sense, and she doesn't understand why she has this ability. That's basically what the premise of it is, and all the while she's trying to teach this sort of black Labrador of a character personality, and basically teaching him how the world works as she understands it, even though the world is changing to sort of mirror her story ideas and everything. And of course that comes with dangers. But besides that and everything, I'm sort of looking forward to this as part of the otherworldly fiction genre that my publishing company is somewhat going to be known for. I don't plan for this to be a series, but I've only written literally just one page front and back, so this will be interesting to write. So yeah. And besides that and everything, it's a very interesting idea because it's like there's another idea, a story idea called Guardian Grim Reaper, that sort of goes along the same aspects, except it's a Grim Reaper who's been in the world way too long, and they're trying to find their grave. And ends up falling in love with this girl who was born dead but resuscitated, and she's able to see all of the paranormal and supernatural stuff in the world. And she sort of feels hollow because when she was resuscitated, she was sort of resuscitated without her ability to feel emotions. So it's sort of a codependent relationship. You've got this Grim Reaper who's been in the world way too long, and because they were sort of miscarried, they switch genders. They go from male to female, female to male, and basically has to teach this girl about self-preservation and doing what the heart wants. Which is sort of ironic because he sort of doesn't get to do what he wants, but it's a funny little thing. I've got so many story ideas for otherworldly fiction, and it's going to be interesting to see how these stories go out and everything. Well, that's enough of me just going about all of my different story ideas and everything. I didn't know why I wanted to do a video for this. It's just, I guess I needed some people to just let my chaos run wild, because my chaos, it do be chaotic, in like the sort of the weirdest sense of the word. Think Wheel of Wild Magic in D&D, but it's my brain. That's basically how I would describe my brain, but yeah. And I'll probably do it as a short on here and on my TikTok. I'm going to be showing you guys about how to go about making my personal cocktail, the writer's wine glass. You'll get your notification for it. You'll get your notification for it, and I'll also post updates about it on my social media and all that. But that is it and everything. I actually do need to go outside and do my pictures, even though it's so incredibly hot, and sort of just make sure that I can actually do this well, and it will be interesting to say the least. Thank you guys so much for watching and for dealing with my chaos and everything. I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. If you're interested in paranormal dark fantasy, please go and check out my book, Arborealux. And I hope you enjoy that story, because that story is very, very personal to me, and you will also need to have read it to understand sort of what's happening in the Seraphim trilogy and all that. And it's quite a trip. It's a paranormal dark fantasy with some murder, some mystery, some romance, and also a coup by a vengeful villain who's wanting to overthrow the monarchy. And let's just say that he's sort of validated in a way, but he sort of goes way off the ledge in it. So if you like that kind of unhinged character, you may enjoy you may enjoy Arborealux. If you guys liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me about some of the weird ideas that sometimes pop into your brain and you sort of let your intrusive thoughts win in that moment. I'm interested to see if anybody else just sort of flies off the handle like that. Also, if you wish to support me, besides liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing all my videos with all your friends and everything, please go to my Kickstarter and leave me a tip. I don't have any content on there as of yet, but I will be posting some sort of short stories and everything. And I say short stories, it's like they're probably at most a page long. I have one already, that I may turn into a serial, and then I've got some other ideas as well that I'll be putting on there, and I may also be opening up a book club on there, and also a writer's club. So I hope you guys will go and follow me on Kickstarter to get ready for those benefits. And speaking of community, I also have a Discord server down in the description below, along with my other links for Kickstarter, buying my book on Amazon, and all my social media links. It's a very fun community. We mostly talk about D&D and share what's going on in our lives, and also some creative ideas. And you can also find all the links to my videos there, from this channel in particular, and also my other channel, the Otaku Section, where I basically talk about anime and manga through the lens of a storyteller and how they're sort of intriguing to me. It also gives me an opportunity to absolutely gush about anime, and I'll probably be doing a video for Guardian Forevermore. That's the name that I came up with the story idea for, and I'll probably be talking about it and how it sort of mirrors Black Butler, but also takes elements from other different animes that I like too. So it will. So this is sort of like an anime that's not going to be an anime passion project. And of course, I mentioned my my social media links, and you can follow me on my author page on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter or x.com. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can also follow me on TikTok. I will be doing the TikTok video and the YouTube short on here for the Writer's Wine Glass Cocktail, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah. Thank you so much for letting me ramble. I hope you guys have a very wonderful day, and as I like to sign all of my books with, beyond the cover of a book lies an adventure, a journey, and I hope that you allow yourself to immerse yourself into a journey, whether it be one of my own, whether it be one of yours that you're wanting to write, or whether it is a favorite that you always love to come back to. This is Kat the Curling Author here at the Magic Library, and I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. Bye guys.